Hi, folks. Welcome back. I want to address something that I discussed yesterday in more detail. I got some questions that were excellent, and I assume that other people were probably wondering the same thing. So let me jump back to what we talked about yesterday, real quick. So, in one 30-day sample, the most recent that they could generate at the Department of Justice, is that in the United States alone, there are 111,423 separate internet IP sites that are involved in the sale and distribution of child porn, or more correctly, child sex assault material. Now, somebody emailed me and said, hey, of those sites, are they just selling it, or how many of these individuals behind these sites are participants? And sadly, we call that hands-on victimizers. And the stats are somewhat broad. It's hard to pin down, as you can imagine. Most of these people operate in the dark web, and a lot of this information is sent through code. You can't just go into the dark web and do a Google search. You've got to know a specific IP address, and that's how these guys trade information, sell it. So the base number is at least 55% of individuals that are part of that number of IP sites just in the United States are, again, hands-on victimizers. And remember, behind every one of these sites is at least one child victim. Now, the numbers run up to 85%, so it's a 30% swing. I think 55% is low. I would think it's towards the higher end, because I think anyone who has a mentality of selling this horror is very likely to be involved in it as a participant themselves. So 55% to 85%, I'm thinking it's probably towards the higher end. And I think we'll get more data as time goes on. We'll be able to share that. But I wanted to also talk about the fastest growing crime in the world right now is child trafficking. In the world, fastest growing crime. Now, that includes labor trafficking, sex trafficking, and even organ trafficking. The sad part about all this, all of it's sad, but is that there wouldn't be this marketplace if there wasn't buyers, consumers, if you will. And that's just heartbreaking to think about. So again, when we put it in perspective, children are now being victimized at an ever increasing rate. And they estimate that 1 out of every 3 trafficking victim is now a child. 33%, and that number is growing. So again, I want to raise awareness. I want to continue to make people cognizant of what's going on, but also what they can do. We're going to get into that next. In my next video, I'm going to share a very successful operation that was done through the Department of Homeland Security in connection and cooperation with some not-for-profit groups that feed them information. It's a wonderful balance of government doing a really good thing and taking action based on the resources of, well, we'll call them civilian organizations. So we're going to get into that next. And then we're also going to talk about that legislation that unfortunately never made it to the floor. And I don't want to beat that drum, but if you saw the last video, we're going to discuss that next. So thanks for watching. Pass this on. Let's keep making people aware. One other thing I want to mention is, in a few videos from now, I'm doing the outline right now and writing it. We're going to talk about the risks of kids starting back to school. Now, I realize this is November, but school starts every year, and maybe parents have noticed some changes. And just a quick primer on that is that kids are extremely vulnerable when they shift from elementary school to middle school, and also middle school to high school, particularly girls. And so look forward to that. That'll probably be 3 videos from now. So thanks for watching. Pass the word, and stay safe, folks. Thanks.